Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from Germán Alejandro Abrina, who says, "Hello Ramsey, hope everything is going fine. Same for you, my friend. Big fan of the channel, and I have a question on a similar note to this video. I've been practicing boxing for some time in the past, and the last year, after a time without training, I found a really good gym and started training there. It turns out this gym also had a really great BJJ class. And I gave it a try and I loved it. Cool, man. That's what I'm talking about, getting out there and training. Long story short, for the last 6 months, I've been practicing both disciplines. I really enjoyed them and feeling some real progress in them. But my problem is that I am a professional musician. And things are very tough in my city for making a living out of it. So I had to get a gig playing in cruise ships to make ends meet. The job is going to start soon, and it's great in terms on payment and the possibilities of being able to study and progress more as a musician. Cool. But that comes with the problem that I will be a good deal of months away from the gym, and I won't be able to train with people. I sadly know that there is no way of progressing in these arts without partners to train or coaches to teach me. But I was wondering if you have any advice on things I can do to reduce the minimum possible the loss of training. To reduce to the minimum the possible loss of training. It is my understanding that the ship will have plenty of free time when I'm not playing in the band, and that the employees have access to a gym equipped with machines, weights, etc. Any thoughts on this? Okay, so you're going to be on a cruise ship, away from your regular gym for a number of months. Okay. Understandable. I've been in similar positions, not as a musician on a cruise ship, but not having access to my gym. For example, right now in China, the whole city of Shanghai is under quarantine. Most of the major cities in China are under quarantine because of the coronavirus ravaging the nation. Anybody wondering about that? So all of the gyms, all of the public meeting places, anywhere where people tend to congregate, it's shut down through at least through March. So I've pretty much been stuck at home this whole month. And if all you do in the month is sit on the couch and eat potato chips and watch TV or whatever it is, that's not going to be great for your jiu-jitsu. It's not going to be great for your boxing. Now, obviously, whatever you can do will not produce the same result as what you would do at the gym there on the cruise ship, right? Whatever I am able to do here at home is not the same as what I would do at the gym. But it is important to adhere to a few simple rules. Number 1, do something. As long as you're doing something, you're moving forward. And try not to fall into this mind trap of thinking, I'm going to lose all my technique. I remember feeling that a number of times throughout my life. Like, at age 19, I decided to be a missionary for my church for 2 years. So I left my home, left my university, left my martial arts school for 2 years to be a full-time missionary, to live this monastic life, doing nothing but preaching the gospel, if you will. Yeah, nothing, no time off for 2 years. And I remember thinking, you know, this is something I want to do, this is something I'm willing to do, but my martial arts is definitely going to suffer from this. But, you know what? I wasn't dead when I got back. And so what did I do? I picked up where I left off. And I got better than I was before. Yeah, it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice of time. Now, I'm sure if I had dedicated those 2 years exclusively to martial arts training, then I would have got better at martial arts at that point in my life. But, you know what? That's the nature of life. We have to choose the sacrifice that we will make, because we can't do everything at once. So what should you do? What should I do? What am I doing? Well, Do something every day to get stronger. Do something every day to get more flexible. Do something every day to get more technical. If you follow those simple rules, you're going to be okay, especially after a couple of months. Shadow boxing, man, that's a huge thing. That's not a, oh man, I guess if this is all I can do, that's all I'll do. Shadow boxing is the most important activity in boxing outside of sparring. It is. Did you know that? It's more important than bag work. Shadow boxing is more important than pad work. Shadow boxing is the most important training exercise for boxing outside of sparring, and in some cases more so than sparring. Because some people are really stupid when they spar, and they just hurt themselves. It's very difficult to hurt yourself in shadow boxing. Please don't take me up on that challenge and try to prove me wrong. But yeah, shadow box every day. Make the time. Set apart that time. Sacrifice that time every day to shadow box at least 3 rounds, and do it intelligently. Do it with context. If you have sparred before, and hopefully you have some context for your shadow boxing. Instead of just throwing random punches and kicks and bobbing and weaving without imagining fighting a real person, do that. Project the idea out there that you are fighting a real person, and move as if you were fighting a real person that is reacting. Imagine that person moving and you're reacting to them. You're counterpunching to them. Counterpunching is huge, man. Most knockouts in boxing come from counterpunching. Did you know that? Not just aggressively chasing somebody down and lambasting them, but counter-striking. Man, the check hook, the right cross, those are counterpunches. And I'm making the distinction, as I always do, between straight right and right cross. Right cross is slipping your opponent's punch and throwing a straight right over the top, as opposed to when I say straight right, which is any straight right hand anyway. I made a bunch of videos about that. I know not everybody uses that jargon. I do. What else? An uppercut is a counterpunch coming from the side. Drill your footwork. Drill it to death, man. If you have access to the internet, and in this day and age, I hope you do on a cruise ship, man, use that. That's a huge thing. You're probably going to be around other people, and you mentioned you have access to a gym. I imagine probably a pretty typical commercial gym that doesn't have a wrestling mat on the ground. Probably weights and treadmills, and that's okay. Use them. Do something every day to get stronger. Use those weights. Do some squats. Do some deadlifts. Get strong. Take this opportunity to get strong in the ways you weren't strong before. So if your squat sucked, make them good. If your deadlift was weak, make it strong. If your pull-ups were not on point before, get them on point. I love it when jiu-jitsu guys say, "Oh, you're so strong." It's the most backhanded compliment in jiu-jitsu. Essentially, people are saying, you only beat me because of your physical strength and not because you're technically better than me. I love hearing that. Makes me laugh. Especially when I know that had nothing to do with strength. But when it does have to do with physical strength, especially because I'm a natural weakling, man, I'm not a natural athlete, I pat myself on the back. That's right, I earned that strength. I earned it the hard way. So yeah, man, get strong in all the ways you weren't. What else? If you don't have a grappling partner, if you can't find anybody to work through some moves with, to drill with, you probably don't have anywhere to roll at, but I'm sure you can work out some drills. In this day and age, there's probably somebody else on that cruise ship who does jiu-jitsu, or has an interest in jiu-jitsu, or might want to learn some jiu-jitsu. You can teach them some fundamentals. Teaching is a super important way to improve your jiu-jitsu. Did you know that? Not a lot of people get the opportunity to do it because of the hierarchical model of a jiu-jitsu class. You have the black belt who teaches the lower belts, and that's it, right? And normally that's a pretty good way to do it. Have the more experienced guy teach the less experienced guys. But you got a rare opportunity. Here, on the ship, you might be the more experienced guy. And as you teach and troubleshoot and see this new guy, maybe you'll make a new friend who wants to learn jiu-jitsu from you, right? Yeah, I'm projecting this idea out there. You got to be able to visualize these things. So visualize it. Visualize making a new friend, man. So as you're teaching this new friend of yours that you're going to make on this cruise ship, it's going to happen, my friend. He's going to struggle. He's going to be like, I don't get this shrimping thing. I don't understand where my leg goes on the arm bar. Or he might think he does, and you'll see very clearly, no, he doesn't. You'll learn how to fix that, how to address that. And by doing so, you're going to have all these light bulb moments in your own head about, oh, yeah, that's why it works. That's how it works. That's how I can make it work even better. That's how I can make it tighter and sharper. And so instead of losing technique, you'll actually improve in the ways that you were weak before. Because again, with that normal jiu-jitsu class model, what do? You go in there, the black belt teaches you some moves, you drill some stuff, and then you do a bunch of 5-minute goes, and you grapple. And when you do that, you get better at that format, listening to the coach, interpreting what he is saying, drilling it, and then grappling, doing a 5-minute go over and over. Again, in my opinion, it's not the most efficient or effective way to run a jiu-jitsu class, but it is the most common. It's the easiest way to teach a jiu-jitsu class. And sometimes that type of class is necessary. And some people get tremendous results from that type of class. And if it gives you the result you want, that's the right way, my friends. Don't let me or anyone else tell you any different. But keep your mind open for other ways. I remember after my first gym here in Shanghai closed, so I opened up the first MMA gym in Shanghai 10 years ago. Actually, it was, when was that? 11 years ago, man. 11 years ago now. So I opened up the first MMA gym in Shanghai. It was a landmark moment for me. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I had a falling out with my business partner, and everything went under pretty quickly after about 9 months of having this business. And I still had a bunch of students who wanted to train with me, but I didn't have anywhere to train. And I remember getting an offer from this gym. This gym that had a big wide open space, but no mats. It was kind of a fitness-oriented gym. No mats, no equipment for martial arts training. And they said, we would love for you to come and teach classes here. MMA classes. And I said, well, can we get some mats? They're like, no. Well, can I buy the mats? No, we don't want to occupy the space with that. I said, we kind of need some mats. Like at the very least, some like cheap puzzle mats or something on the floor. They were adamant, no. But we want you to teach MMA classes here. And that was the only place at the time I could find to run my classes. So I decided, all right, instead of focusing on what I can't do, because we can't do that normal, I'll teach you some techniques, then we'll roll around on the mat in 5-minute goes type of model. So instead I focused on what we can do. So I did everything I could possibly think of that didn't involve rolling around on the floor. And as a result, man, my stand-up game got a lot better. My student stand-up game got a lot better, and my ability to teach and instruct got a whole lot better. Sure, you might say my ground game suffered, because if you're not working on something, you won't get better at it. But I became strong in the areas in which I was weak. And so, when I moved on to another gym with better equipment and mats and all of that stuff, I was able to take those experiences with me. So, man, when life serves you up a situation that is not what you want, not what you would choose, That frown on your face, flip it upside down, my friend, like the old song says. Flip it upside down. When you chance to see a frown, do not let it stay. Quickly flip it upside down and smile that frown away. Why? Why should you smile in that situation? Because that is a brilliant opportunity to learn and grow and progress and make yourself strong in the ways you were weak. Good luck out there on the cruise ship. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.